Dion, thank you so much for joining us today.
Amy.
Dion is an incredible private chef. He's also the South African Olympic team captain, is that right?
That's correct.
Amazing. And he is the founder and owner of Violet by Vengatass. Please tell me the story behind that name.
Oh my word, so Violet's actually my great-great-granny's name. She passed away at 94. So just to give her homage, I mean, I was a little kid, 4 years old, on her leg in the kitchen, followed her everywhere. So I mean,
cute.
I'm basically here today because of her.
Oh, that's amazing. So she really informed your kind of culinary inspiration and love for
this
food.
infectious sort of obsession with food came from her.
That's an amazing, amazing story. And tell us what you're making today.
Okay, so I'm keeping things a bit Indian as well. Tandoori basically is a vessel that you cook vegetables or various proteins in, or breads, but the whole idea around it is cooking on open flame. And I honestly believe that cooking vegetables on fire takes it to a completely different level. The flavor just intensifies, gives you this more umami, this smoky kind of texture and flavor around the actual vegetable. So it takes a mushroom that could be quite ordinary and then it takes it to like God level status.
Incredible.
Honestly. So, yeah, we're just gonna tandoori a few brinjals and mushrooms and bring those flavors together with a bit of nuts and some protein and yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, we've got some incredible ingredients over here today and amazing spices here as well. So should we get going?
Let's do it.
Yay!
Okay, so what we're going to do start with first is the eggplants, your brinjal. We're literally going to put it on top of a charcoal grill and we want to slowly cook the brinjal so it sort of kind of steams within. So all the flesh becomes soft and moist, and that's where you get a little small seeds that kind of emulate or give you that caviar sort of effect when you're done with it. So,
sounds divine. I'm hungry already.
okay, to begin with, I just want to poke a few holes in the actual eggplant because as it steams, if you don't poke the holes and as it's sort of grilling, it can actually explode because the steam sort of like builds up and then it happens in professional kitchens at times. If you throw a eggplant in the oven and then a few hours later, you just hear this large explosion.
Oh dear, okay, I'm gonna remember that.
Eggplant everywhere. Okay, while your eggplant's busy grilling, be patient, just leave it and sort of turn it every 2 to 3 minutes so you get it even cook around the actual brinjal. In the meantime, I'm going to take my lentils, which is a really good source of protein for your vegan diet. We're going to put this into boiling water and literally just boil it. But what I've done is I've washed the lentils. It's so important to wash your lentils, barley, your pulse. As soon as the lentils come to a boil, you'll see a lot of scum that reaches to the top. It's very unpleasant starch.
Yeah.
And you want that sort of clean, luscious, luxurious taste from your lentils or your pulses in general. So by skimming that scum that comes to the top, you give it more of a cleaner flavor. So that's very important. Skim, skim, skim,
Yes,
skim.
good tips everyone. Skim away. Oh, those look great. So these are just your red lentils. Can you use any kind of lentils for this dish or particularly?
Particularly red lentils. It's got a much cleaner flavor and we're going to get a lot of sort of smoky and robust flavors from the brinjal and the mushrooms and we want a more subtle sort of dal flavor to come through and balance everything together.
Okay. And that's about, what is that, about 1.5 cups of lentils?
That's about a cup and a half or so, yeah. Okay, so to the lentils, I just want to add some onion that I've cut into thicker pieces because I want the onion to sort of soften as it boils with the lentils. And what's going to happen is going to add velocity and body to the actual puree when we puree it later on.
Lovely. I'm such a big fan of onions actually, and garlic. Oh, so good for you as well.
Okay.
Beautiful. So onions and lentils in.
And then we just want to get a bit of garlic inside of us here. Slightly crushed garlic. It's important that you add the onions and the garlic raw to it because if you get the smells that's coming from here now, it sort of gives you this cleaner, raw flavor of the garlic and onion that as it starts boiling, it creates a different sort of dimension in terms of the lentils when you eat it. If you cooked it, it would make it more sweeter.
Oh, I see, right.
So that pungent sort of flavor kind of cleans the lentils up itself.
I'm storing all these tips in my memory here. I hope you guys are taking notes.
Okay, in the meantime, I just want to start toasting our cashew nuts.
And cashew nuts you use specifically because of their the flavor, the high fat content. Like, why are they your favorite nut to use in this?
Yes,
in this
it
dish?
is because of the fat content, and it's got a very sweet taste to it. So what I want to do with the actual cashew nuts, I want to lightly toast it and just put a bit of masala through it. It's a blend of spices. It's sort of toasted and combined together.
Okay.
It's going to give the cashew nuts a different layer of sort of flavor when you're eating it, but the cashew nuts are also going to be added to the lentils as a thickener.
I see.
So
you just
this
do it in a
could
dry
could
pan.
actually like substitute your butter or your cream
Okay.
as you would normally add to your dal to give it that luscious sort of rich
Brilliant.
flavor.
That's amazing. And you just lightly toast them until they're a little bit golden, or what?
We just want to get the spices to sort of infuse with the actual cashew nuts.
So this is your masala spice.
Yeah. And then just a touch of salt. The scum's already reaching
Coming
to
to
the
the
top,
surface,
so you
yeah.
want to sort of like skim that every now
Okay.
and again.
And how often would you kind of do this in the process?
As many times as possible.
Okay,
All right.
lovely. I think cashew nuts are some of my favorite. I really enjoy them. I see here you also have some almonds though.
Yeah.
Some other, and
That's going to go into the sort of like granola mix that I'm going to be making just
ooh,
now.
okay. You can begin to smell that already. Beautiful fragrance. Oh, that's divine.
Okay, you can see your spices are sort of charring and clinging to the actual nuts.
Yes.
I don't want to add any oil to this because the natural oils will get released from the cashew nuts, as you can see now.
Yes, lovely. Oh, the fragrance is so beautiful. And you can see how the spice is just sticking to the nuts.
Okay, so this is kind of called like tadka. It's a traditional method of tempering or adding a separate layer in between boiled or stews or curries. It's where you add a hot tempered cashew nuts or spices, for instance, to the boiling water, and you want to hear the sound.
Whoa, lovely. And you just stir it in, just gently let it all mix together.
But you can also see now that that flavor is kind of layered in there.
Oh, it's starting to smell really good, everyone. Wow.
So I mean, you know, vegan and vegetarian food is very, very easy to cook. You just need to sort of like think a bit out of the box and embrace the ingredients, embrace the vegetables. There's honestly nothing wrong with it, and you can get so much flavor from it just
Definitely.
by using one or two special techniques in the process. So just with the nuts, what I want to do is just toast them lightly before I start crushing them.
So you want to just keep the texture of the nuts. We're keeping them whole. We're not chopping them up.
And then again, like the entire theme is a tandoori charred, so you want these charred pieces in there.
Love that. Beautiful.
So they're not roasted. When you roast a nut, it gets this overall sort of consistent roast where you get it more full flavor. From this here, you're going to get bits of raw flavored cashew nuts and then this hint of char that just pops up every now and again. And that's going to be the base for our dish when we finish it off,
Okay.
so the flavors will come through there.
That aubergine is looking great.
Yeah, so just have a look at this here. You can see the skin on the top.
It's crunchy.
It's getting crunchy. Now, I don't want to lose those pieces because this here is absolutely...
Best thing.
Okay, so in the meantime, what I'm going to do is make my vegan tandoori marinade. So traditionally, you would use yogurt, but I found this insane vegan mayo.
Oh, yes.
It's next level. So what it's going to do, it's very simple because you can emulsify that with even like, it's basically the mustard that's emulsification or the garlic, and you could literally emulsify oil into that, so you don't need that egg as well. This is going to sort of, because what the yogurt does to the tandoori, it sort of like gives it that, when the fats and oils that create this chemical reaction with the open charcoal,
Yes.
it gives it that lacquered sort of burnt pieces on it that gives it that full flavor as well. So what I want to do is in this bowl here, I just want to get some of the masala that I've made.
Yes. That we put on the nuts earlier.
Yes.
Same, yeah.
There's exact quantities in the recipe, but like my Oma taught me to cook is by eye and feel. Use all your senses.
Yes.
Embrace what you're cooking. So that's turmeric and a bit of smoked paprika and the masala. I've got some red chili.
If there was one spice you couldn't live without, what would it be?
Oh, curry leaves. Curry leaves, gotta be curry leaves. Touch of salt in there,
Last bit of garlic.
a little bit of garlic, touch of ginger.
Is that just freshly sliced ginger?
That's just freshly sliced. And then let's get our mayo.
It's such a clever idea to use a vegan mayo instead of a yogurt. That's fantastic.
Okay. Well, if you look at it, the marinade looks exactly the same like a
Yes, yes, it
traditional
does.
tandoori.
And you just use about a quarter cup or so of that that mayonnaise? Maybe a little
about 2
more?
tablespoons.
Okay.
It's not a lot because you literally just want it to coat the mushrooms. So I've taken nice big button mushrooms. The larger in size, the better for the plating of the dish later on. And we want to marinate this with in the actual tandoori mix. Just take the inside caps out. We are going to use all of this for the ragu, so nothing's going to get wasted.
The mushrooms are beautiful. I have to say, I
They
think
are
they
lovely.
are some of my favorite vegetables. So versatile, and I love all the different kinds. Beautiful flavors. So just key to get some of that flavor inside the mushrooms too, like in the little dark spaces? or-
Basically just on the outside because we
Okay.
want that clean mushroom flavor to remain in the inside, and then just the outside to be sort of burnt and charred to get that
Okay.
tandoori sort of effect.
Lovely. And here, can I do a little bit of skimming for you?
Oh
if
yes,
needs be?
please.
Okay,
It's
just
looking
taking
very
a bit of
lovely.
that off.
We're getting there.
It's looking great.
All right.
There you go.
This
Oh, that
brinjal's getting
aubergine.
there. It's-
I love that. It's so crackly and smoky and amazing. Wow. So how long would you say you would normally leave the aubergine for?
It takes about 20 to 30 minutes or so.
Okay.
Slowly sort of char grilling and steaming as it goes.
And if you don't have this kind of style for the tandoori, can you do it in the oven?
You could,
Or on
it doesn't
grill,
get
what's
the same
so
flavor. You
so
need
braai
that
at
charcoal
home, you
flavor,
need- okay.
You need that braai.
That's amazing. I love that the kind of heartiness the smoke adds
Can you
to
see that
dishes.
steam coming through there as well?
Yes,
So now
it's
you can
beautiful.
imagine if you didn't poke those holes, what would have happened.
The skin looks so incredible. It's all like crackly and beautiful.
It's gonna be
And
really
you can
nice
see
just
that
now.
tender flesh inside. Lovely.
Okay, so in the meantime, I just want to get our mushrooms onto the,
Oh, the sizzle. Mm.
and then we're still going to blowtorch it afterwards.
Okay. There we go. And how long would you say you cook the mushrooms for?
Literally just to get the outside char grilled.
Okay.
So about 3 minutes max.
So it's very much we're looking and
You want
we're
that
using
raw
our
flavor
eyes.
and that cooked flavor.
Oh yes.
So again, flame now. So I just want to
Okay.
use the blowtorch to sort of give the top of it a color.
It adds such incredible color.
So what actually happens, how you get that charcoal flavor on your vegetables or ingredients you're grilling, it's a lot has to do with the actual marinade. So what happens is, the science behind it is, the actual marinade of your ingredient that you're grilling, little bits of it falls onto the coal. Then once it touches the coal, there's this, like, if you look at it under a microscope, there's this burst of like steam as it touches the coal that brushes up and sort of,
Oh, incredible.
yeah, it sort of swipes itself onto the actual ingredient that gives it that smoky taste.
Oh, it smells really amazing in here. Yeah. Ah, divine. And I'm loving the bits of color, sort of uneven. It's just so beautiful for the eyes. I mean, we do eat with our eyes as well, so.
It literally smells like a proper braai.
It does. Perfect for our summer season coming.
Oh yeah.
Ah, so incredible to be outside with family, be at the braai.
And I'm going to plate this dish later. It's going to look very pansy and, like, you know, pretty. But honestly, you could just fry these mushrooms, throw it in a bowl, put it in the middle of the table and enjoy yourself.
Yes.
You don't have to be finicky about it.
Yes.
So, I mean, your Christmas braai, this is exactly what you want to do. And you know, in South Africa, any excuse to braai, we braai.
I know, totally.
And I chose this here because it's very traditional to South Africa, because if you look at every single culture that makes our beautiful, diverse country up, we all have that background in terms of cooking on open flames,
Yes.
no matter where you come from.
No, that really looks absolutely incredible. Amazing.
Okay,
They're really sizzling on top. You can kind of really see the beautiful marinade just settling. Oh, that is
Oh
lovely.
yeah, there we go.
So exciting.
Okay, and our eggplant's almost there.
It's getting nice and soft.
The important thing is we want those pieces on the outside to get nice and crispy, or they're going to be chewy and then it's not that balanced butter flavor.
Okay.
Okay, so in the meantime, what I want to do is just get some lemon. This is very important. As I was speaking about that smoke coming up from the bottom, you want to put your lemon over the heat and just squeeze it so you get that. Can you hear that?
Oh, that lovely
There's that
sizzle.
smoky coming through. Boom, there we go.
Divine.
Okay, we just want to take this off the heat now.
I'm just doing a little skimming here again.
Keep them aside. Look at that. Look at that.
I mean, I've got to work hard in this kitchen today, you know.
Perfect.
Oh, they look absolutely amazing. So I see what you mean about the mushroom inside. It's still almost like it's not overcooked or anything.
Yeah, it's still got that clean raw flavor. See there? Inside.
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, I just want to get a bit of ginger inside of this mix now, closer to the end of the cooking process.
So just a bit of extra fresh ginger.
Yeah, and then I'm going to get some chili in there.
I love seeing that you don't remove the seeds and the pith.
No, we want to eat.
And do you prefer red chili for this? Can you use a green chili?
The red chili's got a bit more spice to it and it's less fragrant, so that's exactly what we're looking for in
Okay.
the actual dish.
It's really looking and
And those
smelling
onions
delicious.
are softer, so I reckon we give this another 3 minutes and we should be good.
Okay.
Oh, I love this. Let's get some coriander from our props.
So you've just got
the
some fresh coriander.
Fresh coriander. Just lightly shuffle that.
And is coriander your favorite herb, or do you have a favorite that is it hard to choose?
It is hard to choose, but like I was saying, spice or herb, it's got to be curry leaves.
Curry leaves, yeah.
So we're almost here. I just want to get some garlic.
Okay.
Okay, so with the garlic, you just want to lightly smash it. And then sort of chop it. We're just going to crush it on the board. You can add a little bit of salt to it. It helps sort of crush it easier.
Yes.
Now the spiciness from the caviar, in the caviar, is going to come from the garlic, not the chili.
Okay.
Actually. Because raw garlic has a sort of certain amount of spice to it, a bit of a kick.
I agree, yeah. It's almost burny. And so you're just using one big clove of garlic here. And here we've got, just to go through the herbs, we've got our coriander, and the stalks that you chop now,
That's the
that's
dough.
the dill.
And, yeah.
Yes.
You just want to sort of cut the brinjal in the middle,
Okay.
open
it's
it up
so
because now it's steaming,
beautiful.
now it's hot.
Yes.
And you want to get all of that garlic and herbs inside of it because now it's going to sort of temper.
Oh my word, that looks amazing.
And it's just the right amount of heat inside of that thing too.
Just get it to cook
Lightly
gently.
warm it gently.
That's
So I'm going
amazing.
to turn that over so all that steam sort of
It kind of traps it in.
encapsulates it. Yeah. Let's give that a few seconds to sort of
Just get the
infuse
flavors
and
to
that flavors to sort of melt. In the meantime, we should be ready to blend our dal. There we go. Okay, so at this point, I want to add just a little bit of coconut cream,
Yes.
just a touch, not too much.
Just for richness.
Yeah, that's kind of like folding in the butter in the end.
Coconut cream is so versatile.
really
Such an
nice.
amazing ingredient.
Okay.
That looks really thick
So
and
what I want
smooth.
to do now is
Let the steam release.
very gently.
Woo!
I remember when I was a younger chef, we never had thermomixers and these special high-tech RoboCoops, so we had the bowl cutter and we had to blend everything there. And it was
Strong
dangerous.
arms.
No, it was dangerous. I mean, you put hot purees in it and it would just splatter everywhere. So you'd go home with little burn spots on your face.
But I mean,
Yeah,
what is
kitchen
learning to
hazards were
cook?
real.
Exactly.
Okay, so at this point, I just want to add coriander into it. Now, notice I'm adding it after I've blended it, so we get that fresh green
Okay.
flavor in your
Yes.
actual puree. A little bit of basil in there and
Okay.
a little bit of mint as well. So I also play around with a lot of herbs that's not traditionally used in Indian cooking, and it's surprisingly, you add a bit of basil to curries, it's a different level
It's
of
almost more
flavor.
Thai.
Okay.
So now that the dal has been blended up with the fresh herbs, oh, I mean, that just,
Oh my word.
that is heaven.
My death row dish is definitely dal and rice. Huh?
Oh yes, I
Yeah,
don't
you
even
can
know what
put
mine
a
would
bowl
be.
of truffles or caviar in front of
Yes.
me. I'm taking the dal
The
and
dal.
rice.
Fine, perfect. And I just,
What we do need is a bit of a little bit more salt and a touch of lemon juice just to bring that flavor together.
so would you say you use lemons a lot in your cooking just to add that acidity and brightness?
Oh yes, very important. The four seasonings: salt, acidity, sweetness, and your peppery, your
Yes.
spice.
Yes.
So in the Indian cooking, it's always if you get that perfect combination of your heat, your sweet, your salty, and your acidity. If you get that 4 levels spot on, it gives you that sort of like where you eat, but you don't want to stop eating.
Salivating.
We're on the money
And
there.
the texture is so beautiful. You can really see it's that kind of smooth, beautiful puree kind of texture. Lovely.
Okay, we're now going to chop our brinjal up. So as we are now, we literally chop it with everything.
Okay. And you can see the beautiful herbs and garlic coming out of the brinjal. And the crispy bits of skin getting all caught up with the beautiful flesh.
Oh, just
So
smell
lovely.
everything coming together. That
Oh,
garlic's
that's
lightly,
amazing.
lightly tempered.
It's incredible. You really get the freshness of the herbs mixed with the garlic. It's amazing. I would never go hungry in your house.
No, not at all. Sort of
Yes,
seeds
you see
coming
the little
through.
seeds coming through. It's really, really incredible.
Okay, this
Yeah.
is going to get crushed now. Just want to get some sesame seeds
Okay.
toasted. It's important that your sesame is toasted fresh just before it goes in, so it's sort of
Right.
going to temper again.
So just toasting those sesame seeds lightly till they get golden color, just a
Yes.
touch.
Okay,
I
so
love
we
sesame
start
seeds to
seasoning
add for
this.
garnish or even on salads, just adding onto any veggies. They're so great.
Just a bit of lemon over this.
So now you see, I would have this instead of a traditional baba ganoush. It just looks absolutely amazing. It's a bit fresher.
That smokiness that comes through, superb. Okay,
Can't beat that little smoky charcoal vibe. It's divine.
just want to set this aside for just now.
Okay.
Mushrooms.
All right.
Okay.
Yes, they're
properly
starting to get
toasted,
golden
nice
color.
and golden. And again, once you add it to this, you'll hear that sear.
Oh yes. Oh,
That's what we
sizzle.
want.
Lovely.
Okay, in the meantime, I just want to cook some of the mushrooms for that ragu. Just a bit of oil in there. Be generous with the oil because you want to caramelize those mushrooms. You want that charred flavor.
So this is you're using a king oyster and some of your bits of pieces from the
From
button
the
mushrooms.
button mushrooms, and then just a bit of some midges in there. I'll use all the offcuts from the button mushrooms also inside.
Yes. So it's a good way to really make use of those mushrooms.
Oh yes. Okay, in the meantime, while that's cooking, it's important once you get your mushrooms in, don't touch it.
Don't touch it, just leave it,
Yeah,
just let
leave
them.
it. Just let it cook.
Okay.
It's going to get good color on the outside.
So you just roughly crush them. Just to break them up slightly. So you could even do
Yes.
like a rough chop, for example.
Oh yes.
And I love the little charred bits of color you can see on
Oh
there. It's
yes.
just-
That flavor is going to come all full circle. Okay, that
and
should
the
be good.
mushrooms
The
are really
mushrooms are
starting
almost there.
to
You can
get
see
that
on the
beautiful
outside.
color.
And what happens, you'll see it starts sweating on top, then you know that the bottom's almost perfectly
Oh,
caramelized.
that's such a great
That's a
tip.
good tip, yeah.
That's a really great tip. So look out for the sweating on top of the mushrooms.
That's exactly what we're looking for. At this
Yes.
point, you just want to add a little bit of the masala,
Okay.
touch of salt, and then that fresh basil to finish it off.
Oh, lovely. So just to add that bit of brightness and freshness.
So that mushrooms are spot on like that.
Oh, they look beautiful. The color's incredible.
Ready. So our mushrooms are here. We just want to slice them carefully.
Oh yes, you can see when you were saying that the inside is almost not all the way cooked. It's still got that lightness to it.
Yes.
Beautiful. And that's just such a feast for the eyes. I mean, the color is amazing.
I just start off with the puree at the base, and then I get all of those beautiful sort of
Your chopped
crushed
nuts.
nuts on top of that.
It looks really beautiful. So that almost forms the little base of the dish.
Then we just want to get our sliced tandoori mushrooms.
Some really good tips for plating here.
And like I said, you don't have to be so finicky. You can literally take the mushrooms, throw it in a bowl, and voila.
They still look absolutely beautiful. So
there's this caramelized one. So we got different flavors coming through now.
and the bits of the basil herb also
Oh
just
yes,
on
are
top.
nice
Lovely.
and crispy as well.
Yeah, so they crispen up in the oil too when they cook with the mushrooms. And there's that lovely aubergine with the sesame seeds. It's incredible flavor
So there's a
combination.
lot of smokiness coming through.
Yes. It's really a celebration of beautiful veggies. And look at that layering, that's so cool. You get the colors coming through with the yellow from the mushrooms and the bits of green from the herbs. It really, really looks spectacular.
And you can just grab.
So who will you be spending your festive days with this coming
Oh, I'm very
December?
fortunate because I started my own business now, so I'm not going to be working over Christmas. I'm going to make sure I make enough money now so I can go and visit my family for the first time since I was 19 years old.
Oh my word, where are they?
In Benoni.
Oh my goodness,
I
amazing.
just want to get a bit of
Little
picked dough
garnish.
to finish it off. Don't be shy with that.
It really looks so pretty.
There
I
we
mean,
go.
that is like Instagram worthy. Hey, that is amazing. Thank you so
So
much,
that's your
Dion.
tandoori mushrooms and brinjal.
It's brilliant. Thank you. Thank you for showing us how to use the veggies in such a beautiful way.
welcome. Thank you for having me.